All right, good afternoon, folks. It's November 11th, 2:22 p.m. out here in Maui. Just a little view on what I'm doing right now. Um, you guys know that I have my goal that ends on November 15th, so 4 days away. And I figured I wanted to just share the King Closer Reacts on one of my live seller calls, maybe about a month or 2 months ago. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but for me, it's been a bit of a full circle on how much RJ Bates and the titanium community had helped me and my business, how it elevated the business, how I was able to improve as a wholesaler myself. So I just wanted to do just a quick review on some of the things that RJ mentioned, as really as a thank you for all that RJ and the community does. So without further ado, I'll go ahead and share my screen and let's hear what RJ has to say.
At Titanium University, we are about doing deals. Now, here at the King Closer Reacts, it's about me reacting to closers and seeing if they're really closers or not. Now, you see me react to Titanium University members like JW, Todd Chun, Tyler Osborne, Brandon Clark. Today, putting Caesar on the hot seat. We're going to find out if Caesar is a closer or not. Now, here's the thing. In Caesar's description of his video, he says he perfectly uses the King Closer's formula to close this deal. So let's find out if he did or not.
You wanted me to call you in an hour, or you wanted me to call you before the hour is up?
If you're available, I can talk now. So you got my message I had never received the paperwork?
Yeah, I don't know if I sent the contract over to you because our conversation was quite short because you got people over. I know your husband was, I believe, went to the ER, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yes, he was in the hospital almost all last week.
Oh, is he home now?
He got home, yes, 2 days ago.
Oh, wonderful. That's great news. So everything is looking good. Everything's good?
Well, it's looking better.
It's looking better. Okay, well, there you go.
First thing I'll say about Caesar is I love his energy. He brings this all the time inside of our community. He brings it inside the implementation calls. I love his energy. I love his demeanor on the phones. So far, it feels like this is a follow-up call to the initial call. So the beginning, obviously kind of readdressing this is who I am. I'm making sure I'm calling you at the time that we discussed. Now that he's kind of gone through, okay, the husband went into the hospital, husband's back and everything. Now this is where I would see Caesar. Okay, now let's start implementing the formula. Let's get into this.
Wonderful. Well, first and foremost, that's what I wanted to at least touch base, was to make sure that your husband was okay and you guys, that he's back home now. So yeah, just if you don't mind, like I said, because our conversation was short, you had a lot of people there, you had family over, right? And I wanted to be respectful of your time. And I'm sorry.
I didn't have any family over. When did you call me? Was I in the ER?
No, you were not in the ER. It was oh gosh, it was like Labor Day weekend when I called you.
Oh, my son was here. Yeah.
Yeah. Someone was there, and so I was like, hey, I don't want to take too much of your time. You gave me like 5-10 minutes.
Let's have the conversation now.
Yeah, absolutely. So the property that you're looking to sell is on Kelly Drive. And how much were you looking to get for it again? Just refresh my memory if you don't mind.
Well, currently I have an offer for $420.
Okay.
I haven't accepted it yet, but I may very well today or tomorrow with the latest.
Okay, so interesting response from the seller. This is Caesar's first test. She says she has an offer for $420. She hasn't accepted anything. I'd really like to see him kind of come back with something like, well, you haven't accepted that. What's the number that you would accept? What's the number that you are looking for? What's the magic number? Something along the lines to get her just to verify that 420 is in the realm, or what is the number that she really wants?
420. Okay. And how quickly can they close?
Well, I'm looking for like 90 days or just under.
Okay, 90 days.
I'm in the middle of packing. I've been in this house for 23 years. My husband can't do very much, and I'm having some challenges myself. So, the packing is moving.
Hello? Margarita?
Hello?
Yeah, you got cut off there for a second.
Oh, okay. I was here all the time. Anyway, so what did you miss? What did you hear?
You said that 90 days or less, you obviously your husband can't do much, and you said you were having some challenges yourself, and then that's where. Yep.
So the packing is moving slowly.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, we can definitely work with your timeline as well, so that's not a problem. Okay. Well, tell me what you got going on over there as far as the condition of the house, if you don't mind walking me through it.
So he did kind of appoint her again with the timeline question. It kind of threw it off a little bit. Would have preferred to say how much you looking to get for it. She said 420. Then he could have said, is that how much you're wanting for the house, or what's the number that you need to accept today? Would have liked to revisit that a little bit just to get clarification. Wouldn't have touched on the timeline there. I saw what he was doing. He viewed the 420 as a competitor's number, and so he's trying to find a way to beat his competition.
I would have rather stayed on the price and then just strolled into, well, tell me a little bit about what you got going on. We already understand some of the pain and motivation with the sickness and obviously the health struggles that her and her husband are going through. But again, we don't want to steer too much down a path of condition because now this is just strictly going to be on the condition of the property. And this is what gets us into not really understanding the pain and motivation. So maybe he feels like he already knows that well enough. He did have a prior conversation, so there might be information that we don't know on this. But again, love the demeanor. Got to talk to him about the keyboard, though. On the content side, Caesar, if you're watching this, bro, you got to find a way to get that a little bit lighter on the microphone.
I would say it's good, but not great.
Okay.
It does need some cosmetic work. There's nothing. We've taken care of any of the other issues or problems. There was a little foundation stuff we had to do. There was some sewer stuff we had to do. We did all of that over the last couple of years. So there's nothing like majorly wrong with the house. It's just basically, cosmetic. And I think, I was originally planning before I started having
You guys pay attention, watch his eyes, and you can hear him clicking. The eyes going back and forth. He's analyzing, he's comping. This is dual action right here, right? He's actively listening to what the seller's talking about, but he's also underwriting this deal. Love seeing that. There's a layer of confidence that comes along with this action right here. So I really like seeing this from this point of view, just seeing his eyes go back and forth while he's taking a look. Because again, she's kind of giving him some idea of the condition, but not like completely. She's not going into specifics. This is like, hey, yeah, it needs a cosmetic update. I mean, for us, because we do this all day long, that's pretty much all the information that we need to put down together a price per square foot on rehab needs.
Conversations with people about buying the property as an investment. I was planning on putting about another 30-ish, 25 to 30,000 in to finish these cosmetic things.
Okay.
And then I was going to put it on the market.
Got it. So you have about $25,000 to $30,000 left to do to make it like market ready, modernize, and everything. Did I hear you correctly?
Well, I don't know about modernize.
Okay.
It's not a new house. I'm not going to put in a new kitchen, a new bathroom, or anything.
Yeah.
Okay, so interesting note there. She says 25 to 30,000, and then he says modernize, and then she used specific things that are vitally important for us to achieve an after repair value, a new kitchen and a new bathroom. That stands out to me because then I would say, well, what does that mean? I mean, because those are important to new buyers and to what the value of the property would be. That's you rarely hear a seller say something in regards to kitchen and bathroom like that because those are typically the most important rooms when it comes to updating a property.
So I was going to do. Put in a new floor in the downstairs, and I was going to paint, and I have popcorn ceilings in the upstairs, so I was going to take down the popcorn ceilings and paint. So that's basically what I was planning on doing.
Okay, so
I just want to pause here for a second because I know RJ made a comment about my eyes moving, which is he's 100% dead on. I was, obviously comping the property as we're talking. For the new folks that are watching this, I just want you to know that it wasn't always like that. I mean, I had a hard time comping. It took me months before I got to the stage that you're seeing right now. So if you're not there yet, don't be discouraged. I know the easiest thing to do is to comp before you call, which, when you're beginning, everyone's done that. But I got to tell you, just embrace the pain. Do your best to not comp before you call. The reason being is because when you call, you don't know whether they're going to pick up the phone or not. And so that time of you comping, you feel like you're saving time, but you're actually wasting more time, right? And if you're comping before the call, it's not like you're comping as if they're on the call. You're comping leisurely. So it doesn't really get you closer to where you need to be, which is comping while you're talking. So I know it's painful, I know it's scary, but the more you do it, the quicker you'll be able to do what you saw me do. So I just wanted to throw it out there. All right, let's get back to it.
So going back to when he was underwriting, you can see his eyes shifting back and forth. And now that she's going into bullet point specifics on the rehab, he stopped analyzing. Now he's taking notes in regards to the popcorn ceilings and replacing of the floors. This is important for us when it comes to underwriting the deal. Love seeing how comfortable Caesar is right here and seeing how he's navigating, going from talking to her, asking questions, sitting back in silence and listening, underwriting, and taking notes. Great movement here by Caesar. Really like how comfortable he is. Like flip-flopping between all the different actions a great closer has to take.
Got it. Okay. And then you guys, and I'm looking online and there's multiple different information. How many bed, bath do you have again? And what's the square footage?
4 beds, 3 baths. The square footage is in the neighborhood of 2,700.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm remember now. Okay. You did mention earlier about the foundation and the sewage. Like, what did you guys have to do, and what was that fully fixed or?
Yeah, it was fixed.
Awesome.
Done.
Done. Okay, got it. So no problem with that. Any problem with a roof, HVAC, anything like that at all?
Almost brand new roof, 2 years old. And we put in a new concrete driveway a couple years ago as well.
Oh, nice. Okay, great, great. Just curious, by the way, and I know I had asked this last time we spoke, but once again, you're going through a lot. So, do you have any pictures of the property by any chance, like any of the rooms, just so that it can help me better understand the condition of the property?
Well, I mean, there are photographs online from when I tried to sell the house about 14 years ago. I put it on the market in 2010, and it was during the recession, and I didn't get any bites, and so I took it off the market. I forget why. I think I wanted to downsize. But then we didn't. We stayed here, and so those photographs are pretty good for the condition of the property, with the exception of the downstairs main room downstairs, which I call it the family room, has a checkered floor, checkered tile floor, blue, yellow, and what's the third color? Blue, yellow, and white, maybe. I can't remember right now. I don't go downstairs very much anymore.
No worries.
And there was foundation work that had to be done, and so now the foundation work was completed, and so it doesn't look that good anymore. That's why I need to put in a new floor, or that's why it needs a new floor.
Oh, it needs a new floor.
Other than that, in terms of the rooms, when the house was not in the middle of packing, it looked like that you see online.
So he's doing a really good job of, like, when the seller says something, kind of just repeating what she said to then get her to open up a little bit more. Really liking that action by him, because he's getting a lot of details here in regards to condition. I think he feels pretty decent about the price because he's really staying right here on condition and trying to get details. That leads me to believe that we're pretty close on price. He's probably putting her in the highly motivated price is right bucket. That's what I'm feeling right now based off these actions. And just by repeating in question form, he's getting that seller to open up more. Really like that action.
Guys, I just want to take a quick pause here. Going back to having a hard time comping while talking to someone, if you need more time, that is one of the easiest, oldest trick on the book. If you need more time, just repeat whatever they said with a question mark, right? If they're talking about the roof, you go roof, or if they're talking about shingles. And literally just that one question, right? It's just the last word that they say. You say it with a question mark, it will open them up, and that will buy you another 30 seconds to 2 minutes. So I just wanted to point that out. That's a little hack that you can use if you need more time to comp. All right, let's get back to it.
Got it. Okay. And you were getting cut out a little bit. Can you repeat what needed a new floor? Sorry.
The downstairs.
The downstairs. Is that the main floor or?
The downstairs is a walkout basement.
Oh, okay.
And it needs a new floor.
Got it. Okay.
Showtime.
Let's see here.
Let's get to it.
So just a couple more questions for you if you don't mind, and then I can definitely give you an offer and see what we can do here. In that neighborhood, obviously I have my numbers on the comparables, but I always like to ask, homeowners themselves, because you guys are local. Once we fix that place and modernize it, how much do you think we can sell that on the market for maximum value?
I have absolutely no idea.
Got it.
I can tell you what houses on my block had sold for.
Yeah, that would be great.
About 2 to 3 years ago, the house literally across the street from me on my block sold for $500,000.
$500,000.
The house down the street from me, I don't know, again, about 2 or 3 years ago, sold for like $650,000.
Mm-hmm.
There's one down the street from me that's very modern. I mean, it's only 10 years old as opposed to mine. And that just sold for $740,000. But mine is not that modern. It's from the 60s. So it looks like it's from, and that's it. It looks like it's from the 60s.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have, huge bathroom. Anyway, so when I was thinking about putting it on the market myself, I was going to put it on for $490 to be conservative.
So the reason why you ask that question to a seller is it gives you insight into their thought process behind their asking price. This is another reason why we ask for the price early on is one, every question from there on is based around us understanding where and how they got that number. And so here he's asking like, okay, if I were to modernize the house, rehab the house, what could it go for? Because she has an idea because she's just talking about, well, I'm thinking about putting 25 to 30 grand into it and then listing it. Well, then, all right, when you put 25 to 30 grand in, how much is it going to sell for? Because if you're willing to sell 420 a day, you put 30 in, it's 450. I'm assuming that you know it can sell for a lot more than 450 because otherwise there would be no point in you putting the rehab into it. So this is a great question by Caesar, and he's doing a really good job of like staying silent and just letting her like kind of give us that insight into her thought process and how she's coming up with these numbers.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Got it. Okay. Got it.
You can probably get more for it.
Yeah. All right.
Anyway, I need to go now very shortly. So do you have any other quick questions?
No, I think I've got all the information that I need on here. And I know you got to get going. So I guess my question to you is, what would make you? I mean, I'd love to make a deal with you. I am interested in the property. What can we do to make this happen and get an agreement and then close out? 60 days, 90 days from today.
Okay.
Well, no, I mean, because you have the other offer and you haven't taken that offer. So, I mean, what are you looking? What's the ideal solution for you?
So I actually really like that question. It was interesting. He kind of put that in his back pocket and saved it, right? She divulged that information earlier on that, hey, I have this offer for 420. I haven't accepted it. I kind of wanted him to say that earlier, but he saved it for this moment right here. And now later on in the conversation, what do I need to do to make this? And I always think it's funny when someone kind of gives an awkward laugh or basically is saying that was an awkward question. I don't understand. I mean, you're the buyer. Make me an offer, right? That's what she kind of said with that laughter. And then he just calls her on it. Well, you have an offer and you haven't accepted. So I'm just trying to figure out what do I need to do to get my offer accepted. I really like that. That was a powerful question by Caesar there.
Today and tomorrow I probably am, unless you come up with something better.
Yeah, I got you. Okay.
So I'm glad RJ mentioned that and recognize it because I've been doing sales for a long time, not real estate, but I've been selling for a long time where I know when someone gives me a pretty good piece of information that I can hold in my back pocket, just like what RJ said, so that I can use it later in the call as an ammunition. Okay. So one thing that I do want to point out is that if you're new, you might not know which information to hold and when to release that piece of information. So I also just want to call out the fact that RJ's way, the reason why it really hit me is because he's done it in the simplest form. So if you're new, do exactly what RJ said, right? In the beginning of the call, he wanted me to ask that question in the beginning of that call, right? Well, you got that offer. Why haven't you taken it? Or you've got that offer. So what's the magic number for you? If you're new, keep it simple. Do exactly what RJ suggested. And as you go through your repetition and as you realize what information you can hold back in your back pocket and release later, then obviously you can do what I did. So I just wanted to point it out that if you're new, keep it simple as possible. Right when she told me in the beginning, I should have asked, well, what's your magic number? Just like RJ suggested.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, what we do, I'm looking at the numbers. Just looking at how much we can sell that property for once we modernize it. Obviously, if we modernize it, it's going to cost a lot more than the 25, 30-ish that you were talking about, right? But the good news is I'm sorry.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, okay, whatever.
Yeah, so, I mean, yeah.
She's like, just get to it. What is your number? I think he's going to say he's pretty damn close to that 420.
420 looks good for me. I mean, the 420 we can do, we'll pay cash, so you don't have to worry about us getting pre-approved, right? We'll take it as is.
You pay the closing costs.
We pay all the closing costs, no realtor fee, so you don't have to write a check, right? I mean, the only thing that's going to come off of your proceeds is if there's any liens or if you owe any back taxes. Yeah.
I now really do have to go. So what I need for you to do is send me in writing what your offer is.
All right. Wanted to wait till that part. So one of the things that I want to mention is that it's really good to mirror someone. And I thought I was doing a pretty good job mirroring her, but obviously I could have done a little bit better. She's very direct to the point, right? She wants to get to the point right away. And so I should have condensed my words I should have been more direct with her, because now it's been, I believe, looking at it, about 2 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes since RJ said showtime, right? So I just want you guys to know a couple of things. One, mirror your seller. If they're direct to the point, be direct to the point. Don't beat around the bush. I don't think I was beating around the bush, but I could have done a much better job to be more succinct and more condensed with my words. Secondly, I want you guys to go back and go to that part where RJ said showtime. Let's go. Please go back to that part and look at the conversation, maybe 30 seconds leading to that point, because you're going to come across those situations, and I want you to know when it's time, when it's showtime, right? So just wanted to point that out. I don't think it was a complete loss that I kept asking questions, because I did get a lot more information out of her. But once again, when you're new, it's good to know when those moments are for you to close and stay close.
There's a contract in writing. Let me look at it. Let me read it through. Do you need to come and check the property, do an inspection on the property before you make the offer?
No, so what I'll do, actually, to make it easier for you, is I'll send the agreement over to you so you can read it over, you can review it, and if you want, I can also go, get another call with you, go from top to bottom to explain everything.
Okay,
Once we get into agreement, then that's when I will send a few of my guys out there. So, contractors, I'll get like a couple of bids. If you don't mind, I'll send a few folks out there.
Will that be contingent? So, like, are you going to say, give me 10 days, and as soon as I get the bids in, then it's finalized?
Yeah, it's not so much a contingent. I mean, you can look at it that way. We only look for like big ticket items, right? So if it's all cosmetic, like you mentioned, based on what we discussed, I'm pretty much sending guys out there just to confirm that what you said reflects the condition of the house. If that's the case, then we should be good. If we find something maybe that's not available to our naked eye, then obviously I'll come back to you and let you know. And then from there, like, we can decide whether we move forward or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. I really do have to run.
What's the best email address for you, Margarita?
What?
What's the best email address for you so I can send it to you?
Oh, okay. It's I'll have to spell it out for you.
Sure.
All right, we're not going to get into that. All right, so my takes off of Caesar's call here. One, somewhat of kind of a standoffish homeowner, feels like she's shopping offers a little bit. I'd be curious to find out if he got this one signed or not. He did post on his YouTube channel, so I'm assuming he did. But a little bit standoffish, especially with I got to get off the phone. She's kind of pressing him there. I thought Caesar did really good job. There are a few things that I'd like to tweak a little bit there, but overall, really solid call on gathering the information. Again, I told you I thought this was Price is Right, highly motivated seller. He's just trying to find a way to beat his competition, and it sounds to me like the way she's speaking there at the end, he probably did. However, the fear is he sends the contract, they leverage that contract, that offer, to then go to the other offer to get them to come up on price. So that's why I want to ask Caesar if he got this one under contract or not. But overall, that's part of what's going to happen. I mean, there's always going to be times where someone claims that they're busy, they need to go, sit over the offer. It's just part of the game that we play. And realistically, I thought Caesar did a really good job there. I felt like he was extremely comfortable. I felt like he did a great job of navigating between underwriting, asking questions, taking notes. And in a short time frame, I mean, how long was that call? That call was less than 14 minutes. It was 13 minutes and 52 seconds. Thought he did a pretty decent job. Was it the greatest call in the world? No, but they don't have to be. And I don't think that there was anything that he did that made that call not the greatest call in the world. I just feel like he did a great job of dealing with the seller and the lead that he was dealt with. That was a follow-up call. She already had to go the first time. It's just kind of, a weird seller and a weird lead. And hopefully he's able to get that one across the finish line. But realistically, I'm pretty proud of what Caesar did there, navigating the call. I just like how comfortable he sounds in dealing with that scenario. And again, just one of those types of sellers that I don't think I could, well, especially with some of the key closer reacts that have done that I felt were negative, but I don't think I listened to that call with many other people, and I feel like someone who does better than what Caesar did there. So overall, Caesar, brother, I'm proud of you. I know you're a closer because I see you close the deals inside of Titanium University, so great job. I'm curious to hear from you guys. What did y'all think about Caesar's call? Leave him a comment. Give him a like. Listen, Caesar is new into his journey of creating content. He's probably got about 15, 20 videos on his YouTube channel. Make sure to go subscribe to his channel, Caesar Lacosta. Love the fact that inside Titanium University, not only do we preach here at Titanium that we do deals, but now you're seeing people come up within the ranks of the university and inside the community and start creating content that is lacking in this industry. People actually calling sellers and doing deals, not just preaching it, but actually practicing it. Love it, Caesar. Great job. Give Caesar a like. Leave me a comment. We'll see you guys next week on The King Closer. reacts.
All right, guys. So, I have a few notes here, but I pretty much mentioned, throughout the call on one of some of the things that I took a note on where I can improve. So, just kind of like an update. I didn't lock her up. She decided to go with the other wholesaler. But the good news is she just called last week because it fell through. So I'm back in now. That being said, I should be talking to her in the next couple of days. I need to know what was the contract for. Was it 420? Because if it was at 420, now I've got leverage. And also I know that I need to lock it up lower than 420 in order for me to be able to move it. So guys, wanted to point that out because a lot of times we call leads, they say they're under contract. Please, please, please congratulate them and ask them when is the closing date, because 9 out of 10, it's overpriced and the wholesaler is not going to be able to perform. So you want to make sure that you're back in front of them if and when that happens. It's free lead at that point, right? So make sure you take advantage of that. And I'll give you guys another update once I do lock it up and if when it makes it to the finish line. Overall, just like RJ said, was it the best call in the world? No, but I'm pretty happy with it. I did a lot of things that were good, and I also have a lot of things that I can improve on. So at the end of the day, if we're not growing, we're dying. So for some of you folks, if you want to go live, feel free to hop on with me. If you don't want to go live, maybe that's out of your comfort zone. One of the things that I'm going to do moving forward now is feel free to call in. You don't have to turn on your video. We can do role play. We can just go, hey, 1, 2, 3 Main Street. I can be the seller. You can be the buyer or the wholesaler. And let's just practice. At the end of the day, my goal is to just help each other grow, for all of us to grow together and inspire each other. So if I can do that, for me, I've already achieved my goal for this channel. So hopefully this helped out a lot. Leave a comment below, ask any questions you have, any feedback. I always say I have very little to no ego. So let me know what you think I did right, where I could have improved on, and let's grow together and inspire each other. All right, guys, appreciate it. Smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't done so. And yeah, have a nice day.